Hey, AM1, bringing CAM1 on the road again. I am headed out to Webster, Massachusetts to play Webster Fish and Game. I was out there once before with Noah on his channel, Daily Disc Golf. Little plug for the Huck Squad. And as I recall the course, it's the only time I've ever played it. It's small, it's technical. In many ways, it reminds me of West Thompson Lake. But it's also a fun course that makes some good use of elevation and whatnot to create some playable space in a rather compact footprint. So we'll go out there. I think it's going to be a fun episode. I think you're going to enjoy this one. I have arrived. I'm here by the practice basket, just warming up with a couple of putts while I wait for my buddy Kevin to get here. I expect him to be sneaking up behind me any moment now. A little bit of bookkeeping to take care of before we get out onto the course. First, on the birdie scale, I give this one a 3, although it has many features you would expect from a birdie scale 4 course. It's got full tee pads, it's got chain star baskets that are in good shape. The course itself, if it's still like it was when I played here last year, in very good condition. It's a well-played, well-loved course. One of the nice features it's got here is a bonus. There is a rustic old pub right on the premises. In fact, that is where you come in and you pay. All right, there's a little kiosk on the side of the building. It's got a clipboard where you sign in and a mailbox for you to drop your $5 for a round, or $10 if you're going to spend the whole day. I think that price is very fair for a course of this quality, and it was the same as it was last year, so prices don't seem to be changing. Once Kevin gets here, we will be ready to go, and we'll see the course. Hole 1, probably the least interesting hole on the course. Straight ahead, through a couple of trees. The stream is considered OB. Get in. Oh, that ended up better than I expected.
Oh, that's not horrible.
Shot. Kevin avoids the stream. Oh, I'm really buried under this thing. I'm so close, I should not be able to miss. Seriously. But that is what an awkward stance.
Oh, I threw it into the tree 6 feet away from the basket.
Hole 2 is another straightforward shot, 250 feet or so, straight ahead. You're going over a stream, but the stream doesn't really come into play. There are a couple of trees out there, so it's kind of a tight fairway, but there's enough open space around them that I think if you nick a tree or hit a tree and drop, you should be fine. You'll be able to get an upshot it in. Oh, that's really short. Oh! That's a good toss.
So that was a rough skip.
Nope. Woo! For hole 3, we get something a little more interesting. 285 feet, so we got a bit of distance to work with. The green is tucked in on the left-hand side there, and you've got a massive tree right in the middle of the fairway.
That massive tree?
That massive tree.
Boy, I barely touched it.
I know, it was pretty rude. You just reached back.
There you go. Straight. That's what I was trying to do.
Yep, that should work.
distorted it.
A little bit. I think it's almost more insulting when you catch just a piece of the tray.
First bogey, and almost missed that one.
Okay, hole 4, 323 feet, but this one is uphill. There is a considerable elevation change, so it plays more like 380. Oh no! Oh, that's terrible.
Where were we talking about?
Right where I did not want to go. I did not put any hyzer on that release.
Come back.
No!
Alright, you want to get a flick shot on video? This should be fun.
Yeah, it's a good idea for this. I horked that drive pretty badly, and I put myself right behind the copse of trees that's directly in the middle of the fairway. This is going to be very hard to get over and through. Oh. That was the only mistake I couldn't make. If I hit the trees, the short stuff, I'd have been fine, but hitting the solid one was no good.
It's going to be way short.
Shame, shame. This one is difficult to film because of the terrain. You just got to take my word for it. The course goes out about 200 feet and then goes uphill and to the right, well, to the camera's right. And it's located up top there, so most of the time you'll get out there and you'll have an uphill long putt to get to there if you get through all these trees, roots, rocks, and everything else that's around this tee.
Yep. That'll work.
Woo, yeah. Got a little bit lucky on that one.
Oh, get through.
Yes!
So lucky. Oh,
Just like you drew it up.
that could have kicked the left about 200 feet. This outside.
Oh yeah. Good up.
Yeah, dude. That's a good two.
Get that one back. Hole 6 has 2 baskets. We are playing to the long pin position. Okay, so hole 6 is an interesting throw. To the short pin, it's favorable for a right-hand backhander because you just put it out there on a hyzer and you can glide to the basket. But getting to the long position means you've got to go another 200 or 300 feet up the fairway and around that corner, bending to the left. If you throw a high-speed driver or something, you know, that's going to go out hard, you're probably going to hit those skinny trees on the back side of the fairway before it fades and goes up the lane that you need to get up to. So maybe this is a right-hand flick where you put it out there, turn it, and have it fade out and go up that second lane. Or maybe you just play a placement shot and then take a second drive from that land. Kev, what do you think?
So Kyle throws a lot further than me. So my concern isn't so much hitting those trees before it fades, because I'm going to fade before it. Mine's concern is fading too much, getting over towards the short basket and not being able to come back out around to get to the long one. I know you can't see it from here, but that's certainly a concern. So maybe like Kyle was talking about, trying to place it, keep it over towards the middle more. That's tough.
Oh, that's probably too far left.
See,
I think I went to the white basket.
Yeah. Guido would love this shot with that forehand that you're talking about.
Yeah, the
Because
forehand.
he could really get it down there, but it would still settle out back to the middle.
Yep.
Well, you were right.
That's a good spot.
That was a lot shorter than I thought it was. So I think this is one of those holes where after you play it a few times you get a little more comfortable. I didn't think I had any chance of reaching kind of this area before it started to fade, so I threw it right at it and it reached it easily. I didn't even throw it hard, so yeah, next time probably a more overstable disc, kind of get down into the fairway there. I'm in a bit of a tough spot.
Get around. Oh. Well, I made it. As placement shots go, that's what I was looking for.
That's on the road.
Oh, it's really short. Five. That's an ugly 5. I tried to play placement golf on the last hole and I got burned with a lousy upshot. All right, so hole 7, straight ahead, slight elevation change. We're going uphill a bit. The only thing tricky about this particular hole is that there's a cluster of trees right around the green. Unfortunate slide, but I'll take it.
What was that?
That was compass. Get around, hook up. Oh.
It's kind of what I wanted.
You almost bounced off the flight plate of my disc.
Webster Fish and Bog.
Oh, good bid. So I mentioned all these trees while I was standing on the tee pad, but the other tricky part about this green is obviously the slope going up to it follows out and drops off the backside.
It's not very severe over here. You can play with it. You did. Better high than me.
Navigation around the course is pretty good. Each hole flows to the next one. They also have these little next tee hangers under the baskets to help you out. Only place where it gets tricky is the transition from 6 to 7. Because 6, the long basket, is an extension, you have to backtrack quite a ways to get to the tee pad for 7. Hole 8, almost 300 feet, so a little beefier than some of the others we've thrown so far. Has a big right-hand turn at the very end of the throw, and it then drops downhill with a cluster of trees around the basket, if I recall correctly. Tricky shot. Oh, it's turning too soon. Crappy release. Just drop.
That would have been alright if I held the ante a little more. I didn't quite turn it enough.
Yeah.
Like I said, bottom of the basket.
Somehow I made it through all those trees and managed to poke out on the other side of the fairway, and I've got a putt here, but it is a bit of a death putt as discs will roll down the hill, as Kevin just warned. That is the silliest run I could possibly
I
make.
wish I had done that. See where I am? give a soliloquy.
Woo!
Nice shot.
You're making minis?
Is that count on funsies? Tag on, baby.
Lefty putt.
You're even through 9.
Hole 10 is a long one. It's only 455 according to the map, but it is uphill. Now this is a shot where you just want to take out a driver and you want to crush it and get up far up the fairway as you can. The problem is there are several clusters of trees out here that make getting up there very difficult. So it's a tight drive and then a long way uphill to a basket that's tucked away on the left.
You hit one of these early trees and you're looking at a 6 for sure. Oh, that's a beauty. Great shot.
Yep, I'm happy with that.
I wonder if they took some trees out of the right side to make that a little more tempting. Like, it's not good enough for me to try it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's. I think if you throw a flick, you can go the right-hand route.
Yeah,
A hard turnover shot. Yeah, Cam. Good pull.
I'll take that.
Short. Well, it didn't roll away.
There it is.
Huh? You gotta line up your feet and then you're like, oh, no, wait, there it is.
Nice 3.
Nice spot.
This course is not easy, huh?
No. It's very tough to play blind. Okay, hole 11 is another long one. This one goes out, bends around to the right-hand side, downhill again. Sounds like, what was it, hole 8, I think the other one was?
Yep.
This one's a little bit longer on the back side.
It's going too straight.
Ugh.
Long, long way, though.
Ugh. Ugh.
So don't be there is what you were saying?
I'm not quite sure. All right, so I either badly overthrew that shot because I am off the fairway and have to throw back to get to the pin. Or the other possibility is that I hit a rock or something and rolled down this hill to end up where I am, but I now have a pretty ugly shot through these trees that I've got to bend left to get onto the green.
Then left, huh? We call that a natural high jump. Well,
Kevin is reveling in the fact that he probably just threw over 350, 375.
I actually think the sign's wrong.
Nice up.
That was a run. Nice spot. Guess I'm not gaining a stroke here.
hole 12, 300 feet. The map makes it look easy, but you have to go up and over the crest of a ridge and out into an open fairway on the other side. Very easy for a disc to fade out and go, way to the left or way to the right. So it's a placement shot over the top of this ledge. Kind of a nice pad at least.
Extra space. Ooh, made it through.
That was dirty.
Good plan.
Wow, same gap.
Yeah, but I played it off the tree so I can get better out to the fairway.
Oh, okay. Next time I'll try that. Nice up.
Ooh, good run. Is the next one back here, do you know?
Go that way, along the road.
Alright, I'm carrying my bag.
I don't know if I want to call this a bonus hole. This one is a little bit evil. Only 200 feet, but you have to go up and over a hill and then down a steep backside to the basket with a stream that's OB just beyond it.
Make it over?
I didn't hear a splash.
Oh, I don't think you reached it. The river. Oh, God.
So the good news is it should be an easy 3, but I am definitely swimming, and that is OB. That's what I'm saying. It should be an easy 3,
Let me get out of your way.
but I gotta swim out. The branch is just right in my face.
Want to borrow my height?
So one of the tricky parts about building a course on property this small, you end up with tee pads right next to each other and nets to protect the players.
Yeah, this one does crisscross a bit.
So just like the last hole, this one's another putter shot. But instead of going up and down, this one goes straight out there and then bends hard to the left. The basket is behind that triple tree that's on the left, about 120 feet further up. Oh, and don't forget the stream that runs by it. That's probably wet again. Uh-oh. Hit something. That's definitely wet. Both Kevin and I ended up OB on that one, so we're working on saving the circle 3.
Almost caught it on the way down. Note to self. No mids on this wall. Well, that looks similar.
Mosquito fly right in my ear as I'm putting it. Trash.
Yeah, that's bad. A couple of circle 4s.
I must admit I have a bit of a sweet spot for this particular hole. When I played here with Noah last year, I threw a long ante shot out into the fairway, curled back in, and breezed right past the basket if we thought it was going to go in.
What'd you end up with?
I think I took a 3, but I went well past it and past the rock wall. That is not the line.
It's a line.
It could have been a lot worse. Kevin got a roll that brought him back to the middle of the fairway, but also 40 feet back further away from the pin.
Let's be fair though, I was telling you I was going to make it.
Nice up.
The depth perception's tough when you haven't done it before.
Oh. The chance it might have had was ruined when I hit that branch.
Nice putt. Can you get it?
With authority. No, that's good. Hole 15. Long, straight, lot of trees. No!
I kicked 5.
No bueno. Frothing it up.
That's kind of what I expected. I don't see how else I could keep it level though.
And quite a few yards after contact on that one. Oh, you twit.
Stole the box.
That was just a horrible, horrible upshot. It's that.
250 feet, but right before the basket, there's a nice clump of trees, so you've got to go around those, probably to the right. But you've also got, looks like there's the stream goes right along it to the right as well. So if you kick over that way, or try to ante by going up the left side, you could end up wet. So this one's only 250, but it looks pretty tricky. Giant skip.
No! That sounds wet.
Really?
Yeah. Wet tee pad. Not a bad bid though. Well. Okay, hole 18. The sign for it suggests that there are no trees in the fairway, and that is a big, big lie. There's a lot of trees in this fairway. It's a little bit tight. It's not an unfairway tight, and you've got enough room out there that you can throw lefty, righty. You've got room to work with. But it's a good distance at 310 feet, and the basket is actually dangling from a cable that's stretched between two trees. It's a little gimmicky, but I'll forgive them in this case because you might actually be tempted to run a disc at it at this distance, only 310. A lot of people can get up there on a good shot and be making a long putt. That's not quite right, but it might work.
Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. I hope you can see that on the shot. I turned away, I turned back, and I see it coming out.
Well, that's a nice ball. Nicely done. Watch your foot. Oh, good bid.
That basket's normal height. Perfect. shot back to you.
So Kevin and I were just having a good discussion about elevated baskets. Sometimes they're gimmicky, sometimes they're actually legit. I have a mixed position on this one. I think this one is only a raised basket because they had two trees that were near each other and they could do it. But at the same time, this is a green that's pretty open for the most part, and I can see people running it from 50, 60 feet out. So even though this is only 8 to 12 inches higher than normal, it could make a difference in comeback putts. Final thoughts. This is a very technical course in places. There are a number of holes where you have to avoid OB, trees, things like that. It's short, you're going to be using your putters, you're going to be using your mids off of the tee shots, but there are a couple of nice long holes thrown in to make things interesting. I stick by my rating. It's a par 56 and with only one layout. It is a 3 birdie course, but it does, as I said before, have a number of little amenities that you usually find on birdie 4 courses. So I like this place, it's good. The one big criticism I can lay at it is some of the technical shots remind me of kind of a mini golf feel, where the only problems you're going to run into are OB or an exceptionally crowded green. Other than that though, I think it's a very playable course. It's easily worth a half-hour drive to get out here.
This is nice. I think that's pretty well said. This is my first time playing it, so I struggled a little with some of the distances that I just haven't played before, so I didn't really recognize, and a lot of the OB is really close to the baskets, and you don't really notice that until you get up to it, like just the one we played here, 17, and that one that dropped off at 12.
Yeah.
And so it makes it tough to really be aggressive. I just did it and ended up out of bounds a lot. So I'd love to try it again while I have a little bit better of an idea, but I pretty much agree with everything he said. Some of it does feel a little gimmicky with some tight lanes on not very long holes, like they tried to make it interesting, where it might have been an easy shot, so they tried to play with it a little bit, but I like it overall. It's really, really nice out here too.
It's a beautiful course, very pretty in places, and I think that they've made the best use they can out of the land that they have available. As tight as it is, they're going to have to be short fairways, and so they did the best they could to keep it interesting. All right, that's all we have for today. Stay frothy, my friends.